morning to you. We are at Big John's Closeouts where we hammer high prices again on this Thursday, the 10th day of July, 2025. You see the countdown to Cyclone Sports. 43 days, 4 hours, 19 minutes. There's a 7-on-7 tonight at Science Hill. Let it rip. 7-on-7 tonight at Science Hill High School. Again, 7 o'clock? It'll be at Kermit Tipton Stadium, so we'll go check it out and see what's going on with the Cyclone football team coming up tonight. Had a front page article about Rhett Schlegel for the Cyclones. It says Rhett is ready. There it is on today's Johnson City Press. Jeff Birchfield will join us coming up here in a little while. Hello, ladies. How we doing? So we've got Jason Jarrett stopping by, head football coach at Happy Valley, is going to join us. Also, we're going to be joined by Brock Pittman, head football coach at T.A. Duggar. And also going to be joined, as we said, by Jeff Birchfield, along with Mike Barnett from right here at Big John's Closeouts, where they hammer high prices, as Axel says. And maybe he'll be here. He may be making a cameo, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, anyway, that's what's coming up on this Thursday. Let's get a start of the national anthem, as we always do. And who gets to sing it today? I pick somebody. They're all good as far as I'm concerned, so we got them in the system. So, let's do this right here. Let's go down and find. I did this yesterday, just him all around. Let's get us one, roll with it. We got lots to talk about in sports. And let's go find one right here. It will be Gabe Short with the national anthem on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
And oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet waved o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And back to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live here at Big John's Closeouts with the hammer high prices. Got a good sale going on. We'll let Mike tell you about the cabinets they got on sale. They're selling a lot of them. And Dextane. Got that going on right now as well. So we'll let him tell you all about that coming up here in just a few minutes here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hey, I know those kids. How are you? Wherever we're at. That's exactly. You're exactly right. They've saw them yesterday, saw them today. Of course, yesterday we were at Chick-fil-A. Tomorrow we'll be at Food City and Gray on a Food City Friday. All right, so another change, or not really a change, but a different spin on things. The preseason polls in college football may be going away. Yep. Is that not crazy? I think it's very crazy, but I see it to a point. They feel like it's going to impact the committees once they start picking the teams for the playoffs. That's how big this thing is. It's a lot of money riding on this, folks. So the Big 12 comes out and says we're not going to have a preseason poll this year. In a surprising move, before the 30th year of the conference's existence, administrators and coaches have said we're going to discontinue the media's annual preseason poll. Unanimous approval. So Significant roster turnover due to transfer portal often leads to preseason polls painting an inaccurate picture of teams, which I agree. I mean, we're in the middle of a transfer portal right now. So whatever they say, they think these teams are going to be like, they don't really know. So I get this. I understand it. But it's interesting almost every day I start the show with a changing story about college sports, and today's no different. Increasing parity in the Big 12 has allowed for wild, worst-to-first finishes, which usually hinders the rise of the national polls. And to use last year's example of Arizona State, preseason they were picked by the media to finish last. That's why they're paying attention to preseason polls in the media. We don't know what we're talking about. We're over on the sideline. We're not in their everyday practices. That's why I never participate in anything like that, because it's meaningless. I don't know anything about these teams. I'm going to go watch the Cyclones tonight. I got a pretty good idea about them. That's the team I cover. But to be a media person to sit down and break down, if you said, Tom, give me which we've done here, give me your poll first through last of the Southeastern Conference. I mean, it's a wing job. I don't really know. The media doesn't really know. They think they do, but we don't. We're not there every day in practice. We don't really know. Anyway, Arizona State last year picked 16th preseason, wound up winning the conference, went on to play in the college football playoff, ranked 12th in the country. So that was a prime example, so says the Big 12 coaches and administrators, that we don't need a poll because it's inaccurate. Well, you make that even further point, making the connection that preseason polls influence how the 13-person selection committee could vote when it begins its process in November is a challenging ask. College football playoff top 25 often mirrors the AP top 25 and coaches polls late in the season, which I get that. So, Big 12 is going to try and get everybody to do this. Not just the Big 12. They want all conferences to do that. And that is to eliminate the preseason poll. Now, here's another point. Well, who's one of the coaches said? I want to get this one here because it was a really valid point. Well, here it is. Cliff Kingsbury says, we got 40 new guys on our team since last year. How in the world do these media people know? And Scott Satterfield said the same thing, Cincinnati coach. Says, everybody's got a minimum of 40 new players through the transfer portal. How can anybody know how they're going to be this year? And he's right. It's a shot in the dark, but he feels like, and I think it's a very valid point, that the polls can influence the committee votes. So let's don't have any polls. Let's just line them up and go. Big 12 pretty deep this year, a lot of parity. 9 quarterbacks in the Big 12 threw for more than 2,400 yards last season. So it's a football conference that has a lot of what ifs and a lot of question marks as far as who's going to be the dominant team. So we're going to do away with the preseason poll. And I would assume that other conferences will follow suit, would be my guess. So, and I would totally understand if they did. Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live here at Big John's Closehouse where we hammer high prices. Again, we're at 43 days to the 101st meeting of Elizabethton Science Hill football. Dobbins Minute that night will open up at Knox Central, taking on the Bobcats for the first time since the 1987 playoffs. Also, 43 nights from tonight, Westridge will play Sullivan County rival Tennessee High on opening night. Crocker will go to Unicoi County, and Volunteer will welcome Daniel Boone. So it all keys in on December the 4th for on December the 5th, 1A, 3A, 5A play on Friday, and December the 6th, 2A, 4A, 6A playing in Chattanooga for the for the state championship. So it's not just Elizabeth and Science Hill in 43 days. It's DB at Knox Central. It's Westridge hosting Tennessee High. Crocker will go to Unicoi County, and Volunteer will host Daniel Boone on that first night. So we are 43 days from kickoff. Did you get what you needed?
I was reading your sign.
Oh. Very little. Just talking sports.
Well,
That's good. You have a good day, sir.
you too.
Yes, sir. So that's what's going on in high school football. 43 days. There is a 7-on-7 tonight. It is at 7 o'clock at Kermit Tipton Stadium. I'll double check that during the break. I'm pretty sure it's tonight, 7-on-7. So we're going to go over and check it out and see what's going on. Again, Rhett Schlegel got a front page story today in the Johnson City Press. Hello, Jimmy Stout down in Georgia. How you doing, bub? Rhett is ready. So we'll take a break. Coming up, Jason Jarrett, head football coach, Happy Valley, joins us at the bottom of the hour. Also later in the show, got Jeff Birchfield from the Johnson City Press Kingsport Times News talking NASCAR, college football. Get his take. He's in the media. What's his take of eliminating preseason polls for the big boys? And maybe it may trickle down to the Southern Conference mid-majors as well. I don't know. But Big 12 has stepped up and said we are not going to do preseason polls. It has too much impact, for lack of a better term, on the pollsters when they sit down and start putting together teams. And their point is well taken. As I said, Arizona State picked dead last year, won it. Won the conference. So the media picked them dead last. And again, I've said all along, I don't know there's no way. If you sit down in any conference, and I do Milligan's, can you sit down and give me Milligan's basketball? I mean, the AAC, I have to sit down and, I think I know, but there's so much flux, so much transition. As Scott Satterfield said, the coach in Cincinnati, we got 40 new guys, basically a minimum of 40 new guys on each team in college football. So how would anybody know? We don't even know what we got. So how can a media person sit down and, with fairness and being accurate, say, yeah, this is who's going to be and who's going to be the powerhouse? And again, Arizona State, they clearly missed that one last year. And Baylor, a couple of years back, they picked him not to do very good, and they did as well. So, anyway, Big 12's doing it. Don't be surprised if other schools, other conferences do it, I should say. Doing what I'm saying is eliminating preseason polls. Quick break. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball. Ronald Acuna said, I'm coming to the Home Run Derby, and I'm okay. We'll tell you why next on the Tom Davis Sports Show.
Our success is your success.
Our buddy Sherry Holtzclaw, the owner of the Jewelers Bench, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Davis Sports Show. A lot of jewelry stores. Why trade at the Jewelers Bench?
So we've been in business for 26 years. John is the jeweler. Everything is done here. It stays here. We do not send anything out. You go and buy from Zales or somewhere like that, you've got to send it off, and it's 4 weeks or whatever. But if you have any issues with your pieces, then he's here, and you can talk to him face to face. We've got great employees, great customers that have become pretty much family, and we are, like you had mentioned, on some of second generation of people coming in. I think it says a lot being in business in a small town for almost 26 years.
Yep. You served your mom and dad, and now the kids are grown up, and you're serving them now. Take care of their jewelry needs as well. So, they're running the full slate. Watches, rings, Pandora. Oh, gosh. What else? You've got the Glock. You've got the Bearing watches. You got the G-Shocks. What else you got? What other watches?
So we have watches. So you said Citizens. Bearing, G-Shock. That's it. I've got a new, some new bearings coming in soon. So, full line of watches, full line of everything you need right here. The full-time jewelry store with the jewelry repair. The Jewelers Bench. Hours are open. So we're open Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 6, and on Saturday, 9:30 to 4.
Social media, how do we find you?
So we're on Facebook and Instagram.
And the phone number is?
423-542-5600.
Great sponsor. Been at it a long time. We love promoting the Jewelers Bench right here on the Tom Davis Sports Show and Elizabeth and Cyclone Sports. And back on the Tom Bill Sports Show. Coach Jared Terry's going to join us in a few minutes. Hello, Floyd Dave. Hello, Jimmy Stout down in Georgia. How you doing? Let me put on my Food City glasses and tell you real quick about, we talked yesterday about back spasms for Ronald Acuna Jr. Well, apparently it's okay. He hammered 2 of them. One for sure. He cranked it out. The Braves have lost 13 straight in the state of California. 14th career multi-homer performance for Ronald Acuna Jr. It went out of the ballpark. The first one in the first inning, over the left field wall, went out of the AAA ballpark in Sacramento against the A's. Of course, the Braves went on to win. Acuna's going to be in the home run derby on Monday. So, had another solo shot later on in the game. So, Acuna and the Braves snapped that skid. Maybe it's a start. It's some good things. Now, All-Star game. We'll get this. Hello, Daddy Bill. How you doing, sir? The upcoming Major League All-Star Game in Truist Park on Tuesday will feature the automated ball strike system. Could be part of the league next year. It's going to be a league. It's going to be part of it. Ron Manfred's already said. Rob said, I want this in. Hang on. Excuse me. The ABS challenge system, in which catchers or hitters may request video reviews of a limited number of ball strike calls. So now the umpires are going to be ultimately replaced. This is the start. ABS is based on individual player height. I'm 6'5". This guy's, I don't know, pick one. 5'12", 5'12", can't be 5'12", 5'11", 6'1". So the strike zone is going to be based on the height of the player, not just a generic strike zone that broadcasts tend to employ. The challenge sees the human umpires retaining most of the strike calling. The hitter or catcher signals a challenge by tapping the top of his helmet. Then replay determines the correct call. So it's going to slow the game down. They've already got the pitchers on a pitch count, on a time count. So the ball goes out of the strike zone, calls the ball, or calls the strike, and I go. I want to appeal it. Each team will be allowed 2 challenges. If they're correct, they retain the challenge. So there you go. Commissioner Rob Manfred says he'll propose the use of the system to the competition committee in hopes it'll be adopted for everybody come 2026. It's being used in minor leagues right now. So the All-Star game, you see it coming up on Tuesday night, is the ABS, the automated ball strike system. So another twist, another turn. Always sit and go, just leave the game alone. It's been pretty good all these years. A couple more notes. DJ LeMahieu for the Yankees designated for assignment. Now, he is struggling, but the Yankees owe this guy $15 million for next season. Oh, God. And the balance of the $15 million for this year. They turned him loose. He's batting .266, 2 home runs in 45 games. So, obviously not getting it done, but that's an expensive departure. The betterment of $15 million to let him right off in the sunset. So, I don't know about Jason Jarrett. They said, Tom, we're going to let you go. We're going to pay you about half your salary just going out the door, and you can probably end up with some other team. I go, okay, just let me give you my account. This is an automatic deposit. Yep. So anyway, LeMahieu, he's a competitor, he wants to play, and he will end up with somebody, but they've let him go. And so he had a 6-year, $90 million free agent contract before the 2019 season. So he's been let go, and so, they're looking for, he is shuffled around, he being Aaron Boone, some of the guys in the infield, to accommodate the fact that he's no longer on the team. So we'll see. I'm sure he's going to be picked up pretty quickly by somebody because he's just in a tailspin, and we'll see. All right, Coach Jarrett's here with us on the Rundown Baseball. We've got 1, 2, this is travel day, 4-day games before everybody moves on for the final. Actually, they'll shut her down because it's All-Star Weekend. The Mets at Baltimore, the Cubs in Minnesota today, day games. Mets playing a double dip. They'll come back and do it at 5:05. The Reds, Nick Lodolo on the mound for the Redlegs against Miami today at 5:10. Under the lights tonight, Seattle, New York against the Yankees. The Red Sox hosting Tampa Bay. Cleveland and Chicago. The Cardinals hosting Washington. Atlanta with Strider on the mound will be against the Athletics tonight in Sacramento. Texas and Evan Carter played last night. Went 1 for 4 last night. Again, the Angels and the Rangers will wrap that one up tonight in L.A. and Arizona and San Diego. Here's your standings going into the All-Star Weekend final games tonight. I think they may play, Chuck Jarrett? Yep, he's watching. Okay. There he is. Becky Muncie down in Union County's watching. Thank you, lady. American League Blue Jays still red hot. They lead the Yankees by 2.5, but don't look now. The Yankees have won 3 in a row. Rays are 4 out. The Red Sox have won 8 straight. They're 5.5 out, so they're hanging going into the break. If you stay probably under 6 games going into the break, I think you got yourself a shot. In the Central, Detroit's won 7 out of 10, best team in baseball. Royals chasing them, but they're 13 games out. They won 4 in a row out of the Royals. The Astros lead the West by 6.5 over the Mariners. In the National League, the Phillies won 6 out of 10, but they only have a half-game lead over the Mets, who are still hanging. Again, the Phillies with one win better than the Mets. The Phillies are 54-39. The Mets are 53-39. Mets are half game out. Braves are 13 back. The Cubs lead the Central by, who's your favorite team, by the way? Braves. Cubs, I'll ask you about that one later. See if he thinks he can. He's a coach and a fan. Can they turn it around? Let's see, the Braves right now are 40-51. They're 11 under. Excuse me, 13 games out. Hello, David Belize. That's a brand new name. Hello, Junior Campbell. And Mike Barnett. We know him. He's going to be on the show in a few minutes. We're here at, again, Big John's Closeouts. Cubs lead the Brewers by a game and a half. Brewers have won 4 in a row. Cardinals are 5.5 out. In the West, the Dodgers in a tailspin. They've lost 6 in a row and 6 out of 10. But they still lead the Giants with 5 games. Again, L.A. with a 56-38 record. So the best team in baseball continues to be the Detroit Tigers. And the second best team, even though they've lost 6 in a row, tells you how good they are. The Dodgers are still the second best team in baseball. So that's a look at the bigs on this. We said on this Thursday, July the 10th. Countdown to football, 43 days, 3 hours and 58 minutes. It'll be the Cyclones at Science Hill, Dobbins Bennett at Knox Central. Tennessee High will be at Westridge. Volunteer will be at, I just had this a few minutes ago. So this is what happens when you get old. Coach don't know anything about that, but here it is. I thought I was doing good. Westridge will be at Tennessee High. Crockett goes to Unicoi County. And Volunteer welcomes Daniel Boone on that first night. And the goals we said, everybody, 1A, 3A, 5A wants to be in Chattanooga on December the 5th. On that Friday playing for a state championship. Classes 2A, 4A, and 6A want to do it on that Saturday. That's the goal, be down there playing for the gold ball in Chattanooga. Quick break, we're going to talk Happy Valley Warrior football. Yeah, coach is here. Here's what I like about Jason Jarrett, we're getting him on the air. If he's around, he's available, he'll come. If they win by 40 or they lose by 40, he'll still come promote his kids. They always find something good to talk about. We're going to talk about that new turf going down, too, at Happy Valley. All that straight ahead. Coach Jarrett next on the Tom Dillon Sports Show, live at Big John's Closeouts, where we hammer high prices here in Elizabethton.
Center, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports on the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Tammy Troutman. A lot of antique stores out there. Why come to the Eagle Center?
Oh my goodness, there are so many reasons to come and visit the Eagle Center. We have wonderful vendors, nearly 50 vendors who have the best merchandise. They hunt, they pick, they're always changing it out, keeping it clean and fresh and new and interesting, and we have wonderful vendors.
Yes, you do. And we're going into the spring. We're in spring and summer. Great time coming down downtown Elizabeth and shop here because the inventory changes all the time.
Yes, it does, and we have air conditioning, so you can come in, cool off, look at things, browse. We have 2 levels of just about everything you could think of.
Gift certificates?
We have gift certificates available. We have layaway available.
Yep, you can do those. Get a gift certificate. They can come back and get what they want when they want, or do a layaway for down the road, even into the holidays. You can do that. It's all right here. The hours are open.
We're open 10 to 5 every single day except for Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And where do we find you on social media?
We're on Eagle Center Co-op on Facebook, and then Eagle Center Antiques on Instagram.
And the phone number we have to call to find out,
The phone
talk to
number
you?
is 542-6674.
There you go. One of our great sponsors here on the Tom Dillon Sports Show and on Cyclone Sports, the Eagle Center in downtown Elizabethton.
Tom Dillard Sports Show. Glad to have him. Always glad to have Coach. Got a hold of him last week. I said, I didn't hear from him for a while. I thought maybe I lost his number. But no, he was vacating. Now, some of us get to go to West Virginia for vacation or somewhere else. But, well, the big dogs get to go to the Dominican Republic.
Oh, it was a great trip.
Is that cool down there?
Awesome. I tell you what, that's a passion of my wife and I. We love to travel, and we decided several years ago that was one thing we were going to try to do. We were going to not wait until we get so old and retired, and if we're blessed enough to be able to physically, mentally be able to do it now, then we're going to try to go. So we took the kids down there and just had a blast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I've never been to. So you catch a flight from here. I mean, how far in the air do you go to get to?
Well, this time we drove to Charlotte, and we flew from Charlotte straight into Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, which is almost a 3-hour flight, so it's pretty quick. And then this time we transferred over to La Romana, Bahibe area. We actually didn't stay in Punta Cana this time. It's a little different part of the country, what they say the Caribbean side. It all looks like Caribbean to me, but really cool thing about that side was no big waves crashing into you, pulling you, no current and stuff like that. You had to fight. It's kind of like a lake, crystal clear, beautiful aqua water. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. A lot of activities, water park on scene there, and it's all inclusive. So I think I gained about 11 pounds in 7 days. Had a lot of steak and shrimp, and I ate and ate and ate.
So they welcome Americans down there?
Yeah.
Because we bring money, they like it.
Oh, they love it. Tourism is a big deal, and the great thing about that, too, is you get to meet people from all over the country and all over the world. Most people when they're on vacation, they're in good mood, so everybody's great. And met a lot of local people down there. Yeah, we were down there just talking it up, talking football. Imagine that. In high school sports, met a family from living down the middle of the state, and one of them's wife was a Sullivan East graduate. And just small world.
Small world. You better believe it. So you got a chance to recharge your batteries, which is what you're supposed to do during dead week, and now it's back in full throttle. You go back to last year, you were 7-2, losing to South Green and lost to Polk County in the playoffs by a heartbreaking 14-13 final. So you go 7-2 last year. This year the schedule's tweaked out a little bit. You've got road games at Unaka, at Claiborne, Thomas Walker, Cumberland Gap, South Green. Your home games up on Warriors Hill, Cloudland, Hampton, Unicoi County, Hancock County, West Green. Pretty aggressive schedule, sir.
It is. It's a schedule that we feel like is going to make us better, and we're looking to compete once again for a conference championship, and which we've been blessed to do several times. Be able to compete, and if you can put yourself in a position to do that, it's where you want to be at the end of the year, and we hope we can do that. But we feel like this schedule is it's going to prepare us to hopefully get over the hump of a 1-point heartbreaking loss in the playoffs last year. We want to try to make a run down the road.
One of your guys graduated. He worked here, and of course I go to church with him, Reese Sawyer, so he's out. He's graduated, so he lost some good ones, including Reese, but you got some good ones coming back. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of your team, let's talk about pretty exciting news. You're putting down a turf.
Oh, yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I was just checking that out right before we got here. They're laying the gravel down right now. Got the layer going down. They're pouring the concrete around the edges of it. Got the drainage in, and we're really, really excited. A lot of people don't realize all the work that goes into that, and it's not just from coaches, but community members, Booster Club members, and we've been blessed at Happy Valley to have one of the best natural Bermuda type playing surfaces in all of East Tennessee from Knoxville this way. So from that aspect, it's a little bit bittersweet, but at the same time, too, this time of year, you had to mow that thing about 3 to 4 times a week, and then you're looking at, close to $3,000 a year just in paint and 5, 6, 7 hours a week on home games just getting it painted. So there's a lot of cost savings that's actually going to go into it. It's making my life much easier right now from a mowing standpoint because us coaches are having to mow it every 3, 4 times a week. So we're excited. Our players are excited, and we think it's going to be beautiful.
It will be beautiful. And, of course, folks know around here there's natural grass turfs. Long about October, November, 2 or 3 rains and, a really hard rain, all of a sudden becomes a cow pasture. And so all that's gone because that field gets a lot of use, doesn't it?
Oh, it gets absolutely used, between youth club games and middle school games and high school. And then now you add to that Hampton's going to be playing their home games there. After Helene last year, the last half of the year, they played and practiced each and every day. We were glad to welcome them. And even this spring, we both was on each side of the 50 practicing during spring ball. And just within that 2-week period, it was getting chewed up pretty good. So there was absolutely no way that surface was going to be able to be sustained throughout the course of a year, especially with both youth clubs playing there, both middle schools and JV and varsity games.
So I guess the nights that you guys are gone, Hampton will be there using the field or vice versa, right?
Yep. There's going to be 3 weeks that's overlap where we both have, quote, home games. So we had to do some figuring there, but Coach Luntz and I and our administrations from both schools have been great to work with one another. So we've moved our second game, which is our first official home game, that Cloudland game. We're going to play on Thursday. And then that Friday night, Hampton will be at home. That was one of the overlap weeks. And then the other two, Hampton has moved to Thursday night, and we'll keep the Friday night. So we were able to move one, and Hampton moved two, and it's going to work out just fine.
I said it when it happened. I continue to say it. Since September, we have shown, obviously, here in the mountains, we are resilient people. We do what we need to do. We circle the wagons, help each other, and we adjust. That's about as simple as you can say it. We adjust, and we flex, and we do what we got to do, and here it is. We're going to share a football field to Hampton figures out what they're going to do. So the Bulldogs will be up on Warriors Hill playing their home games, which I think is awesome that you guys have partnered up because you ended up playing each other at one point of the season. So, but that won't matter because at the end of the day, this is just a football game.
It is, and on Friday night you obviously want to beat each other, but Coach Lunsford and myself, throughout the last 10 years or so, we have grown into just a great relationship. He and I we're kind of thread from the same mold in terms of being ultra competitive, but at the same time, he's a phenomenal man, and he's been great to work with. Our friendship has just blossomed throughout the years, and I've got the utmost respect for him and that program and all programs, local programs. And, in times of devastation and tragedy like we saw last September, it allowed our community to really come together, and I feel like Carter County as a whole is much stronger now. I know our relationship with Hampton has grown tremendously as well, and like I said, the last half of the year last year, they practiced and played up at Happy Valley, and they used our visiting locker room as basically their home locker room, and we shared laundry facilities, we shared the field, we shared shields and equipment, we shared whatever we needed to do. We wanted those kids in devastating times to have, somewhat of a normal life, get back to that, because that was a devastating. Their area was hit pretty hard, just like Unicoi and other surrounding areas. But, our Carter County Strong, that was a testament last year how everybody just pulled together. And it wasn't just Happy Valley, it was all areas around.
Well put. Again, we're live here at Big John's Closeout. So, again, we're the Hammer High Prices. Mike's going to join us coming up here in a few minutes. Jeff Birchfield, top of the hour, talking NASCAR and some high school sports as well. So, you look at this Happy Valley football team for 2025, and you see, again, the schedule. Road games, Unaka, Claiborne, Thomas Walker, Cumberland Gap, and South Green. Home games will be Cloudland, Hampton, Unicoi, Hancock County, and West Green's good home schedule. That should sell a lot of popcorn and help raise money in the concession stand. It's going to be a good crowd, good fan base for those Friday nights and Thursday nights for the game. So the obvious is talk about on the offensive side of the football. Who are some of the kids going to be counting on this year?
Well, we lost 6 great seniors last year, but we were blessed to have a bunch coming back. And, we've got the reigning conference, Mountain East Conference Athlete of the Year, Gabe McDougal, coming back. We're going to expect him to do some really good things for us again. He was kind of thrust into a tough situation last year in the first half of game 1. Our starting quarterback, Aiden Paul, had a knee injury, and Gabe had to come in and kind of help pieces together there to get us to the half. And Aiden showed a lot of toughness and resiliency and came out and finished the second half and basically just handed the ball off, tried to run the clock, shorten the game. But long story short, after that, game 2 on, Gabe had to start a quarterback for us. So, he's a running back turned to quarterback, and he did a really good job. We ended up, winning, going undefeated there till we got South Green, but we've got both back. Aiden and Gabe both back, so we've got a nice little quarterback competition going on right now, which we believe a Happy Valley competition breeds success, and both of these guys are in it for the right reasons. I don't think they care who takes the snaps as long as Happy Valley is winning, and that's a characteristic, a great characteristic to have on your team and senior leadership. But both of those guys are going to be in the backfield. Andrew Ellis is a senior. He was reigning conference offensive lineman of the year. He's back at center for us. Carlos Lopez, when he was a sophomore, he was a first-team all-conference offensive lineman. We've got Lakota Malone, who's a great guy. He's just continued to build and work. He's going to be mine for time up front. Landon Keller is a returning all-conference defensive back for us. He's one of the most coachable guys I've ever been around in my 20-plus year career. He's just a joy to coach. Nick Primo's reigning all-conference offensive lineman up front. Tyler Bailey, two-time state champion in the pole vault. He does about 1,000 push-ups a day, no kidding. He told me one day in the library there before school's out, I said, how many push-ups you up to today? He said 1,000. I said, how you doing that? He said, I do about 100 at a time. I said, you can't do 100 straight. He dropped right in the middle of the library and did 100. So that shows the two-time state pole vault champion and the athlete that he is. He's an all-conference linebacker returning from last year. Jamison Reese, the guy up front, was going to get some playing time. Ron Paul Parker, basketball player, athlete. He's a guy that we can put on perimeter and get the ball to in space. And then we have A.J. Rangel, who's our female kicker that came last year and did some really good stuff for us kicking the ball. So, we really are going to be led by a phenomenal senior class, and we've got a great junior class following them. So, we're going to ride their coattails as far as they'll take us. And right now, we're just working on the physical and the mental toughness. We feel like if we can improve that, we can go out right now and run 3, 4, 5 schemes that we run and probably be decently successful with it. It's just how physical are we going to be, and can we win those close battles in the end by being in better shape, both physically and mentally.
We're talking to Coach Jerry. You see on the screen, Mike Barnett's going to join us coming up here in just a few minutes. The Big John's closeout. So hello to Angie Wilhoit. How you doing out in P Flats at Wilhoit Manor? How you doing? Hello to Connie Helms, Jimmy Stout down in Georgia. So we talked a little bit off there about it's the wild, wild west in college football. We know all about it. It's every day I come in here, it's something different. Virtually every day there's a new wrinkle or something coming down or new something regarding college football. It has trickled down to high school, to TSSAA, and so the transfer rule and everything going on. So how does it impact Jason, Jared, and Happy Valley? Or even step back, how does it impact high school football? All these different rule changes and how it's trickled down from college to high school as far as transfers.
Well, I'm not a fan of it. Thankfully for us, knock on wood, we haven't lost anybody, but that's not the case for several schools. There's kids bouncing around left and right, and I just think whether it's a high school or whether it's college, whatever it is, I just think it sets the wrong precedents. If you got to put forth some hard work, I think it teaches the wrong things. Well, if you're not happy, if I'm not in agreement with everything, I'm just going to pack my bags and go somewhere else. Life's not that way. We can't walk out the back door when life gets tough, in the households and things like that. You've got to face adversity in the face, in the face, and you got to just put your head down and go to work. And I think if we're not real careful, we're gonna set up a society full of people that's just going to be nomadic in terms of just trying to find the easy route, and life's just not that way. So I'm not a real big fan of it. Obviously, when they were sending out the surveys and different things, not once did I ever vote for such a rule. And then on top of that, they came in now, and just to be completely honest with you, the TSSAA Blaze came in now and said, well, you can transfer one time, but it's got to be for academic, social, emotional well-being, or academics. Well, if the athletic organization for the state is going to put that rule in, then in my mind, you either put it in, and you can go just to go one time, or not have it in at all. They're claiming now you can't move for athletic reasons, and anybody that knows sports knows most of these kids are just moving for athletic reasons. So it's either I'm just not a big fan of it, but we try to hold on to our kids, and we hope that we have a strong enough relationship with our coaching staff and our players that our kids are not going to want to leave Happy Valley. We feel very strongly that we have a brotherhood and a family type culture and atmosphere that our coaches create, our assistant coaches, and we're hoping that those relationships keep people at home for us.
I'm a hot rod football player. Coach here wants me to come to Happy Valley so I can go and say, can't say I'm going to Happy Valley to play football. I can go to say I'm going to transfer because I like the culinary classes better at Happy Valley. Or I want to be in the choir. Or they got a better drama department or whatever. But everybody knows I'm going to go transfer to Happy Valley to play football because that's what I'm going to do. But to put a, I don't know, put a smoke screen on, they say, well, you got to be academics or you got to be something. You can't say you're going to transfer to play sports, but you can transfer, which is a crock. Let's face it. I'm a straight shooting dude, so it's just it has. I'm like you. If you want to transfer to play sports, say you're going to transfer to play sports. Don't come up with I've been bullied or I got social issues and my girlfriend left me and I can't go to school today because Susie didn't like me anymore. Whatever the reason is, if you're going to do it, man up and say we're going for this reason.
That's it.
Not sugarcoat, as Dad used to say.
That's exactly. You couldn't say it any better.
There you go. Don't sugarcoat it. Just come out and say it. Anyway, to your credit, ain't nobody leaving. That's good. 7-2 last year, got in the playoffs. Conference champ. What? How many years in a row now?
Well, we at South Green, that was for the championship last year. In a 0-0 game at the half, they ended up winning it, so we were the 2 seed. But we've played for that conference championship several years. Been fortunate enough to win it a few, and this is just what are we going to do right now? That's the question. What are we going to do different? We have a lot of returning players. Everybody runs pretty much the same scheme, put a few wrinkles on some things, but it's the mentality, it's the toughness physically and mentally that's going to get us over the edge, going to get us through. We upset South Green, who was an undefeated team year before last. We went down there and shocked the world, beat them in overtime. Then they come back and kind of flipped the script on us last year. So, but us and South Green is going to be a big battle for us. That's a lot of people probably point to that game as maybe the conference championship game, but Cumberland Gap is loaded with a ton of young athletes. I know for 2 or 3 years there, they were top in their league down there in the middle school level. So those guys are now becoming juniors, and they have a ton of kids out. West Green, they got great numbers out. Always have big, strong kids. So it's going to be an absolute battle in our conference, and you better bring your A game each and every night. Otherwise, you're going to go home with your head tucked between your tail.
There you go. Will you come back and do this again?
Absolutely. All the time. Love it.
Love this guy. Had a chance to speak to his team, 2 years ago?
Yeah. Over Sinking Creek pregame
Creek pregame meal. Came over and got a chance to speak to the boys, talking about the Lord. And so it was well received, and I appreciate that opportunity. We'll talk soon.
Absolutely.
Go Warriors.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. What a class act. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Another class act will join us. That will be our buddy Mike Barnett from Big John's Closeouts, where they hammer high prices on the Tom Doe Sports Show.
You're one of our great sponsors. Christmas Club savings account for next year. Tell me about it.
Yes, let's talk about it because now you're going to have 12 months to do this. What better time than right now to open your Christmas Club savings? There's no cost on this. This is just something that we can help you transfer automatic funds, either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, out of your check. So that way you won't even have to worry about it. And each time that you have that transferred, either you can do it yourself or deposit into this account, or we can have automatic draft set up. That's just convenient for you. And like I said, it's just another sub account to your savings and checking at Northeast Community Credit Union. So if you have any questions, visit bmycu.org or come in and see us at one of our convenient locations or call 423-547-1200.
And you cut checks when? Next year? October, November? So when you get your checks?
Yes.
Save it up all year?
Yeah, so direct deposit could be your monthly paycheck.
Okay.
And so you can allocate a percentage of that paycheck into the Christmas Club. And that way, when you get to October, November, it's going to be built up. And so it's a great feature, and people love it.
The Christmas Club savings account for Christmas 2024?
Yes.
From Northeast Community Credit Union, one of our great sponsors of the Tom Douglas Sports Show and Cyclone Sports.
Back on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Let's give you the verse today. We always do that. We always dedicate our show to the man that hung on the cross. This is, in fact, Coach Jared gets the verses. He was just talking about that, and I said, "You're very kind, sir." So here we go. Let me read it for you. Why do we worship? Let me put my glasses on. Oh, goodness. Why do we worship the Lord? Why do we depend on Him? Why do we bring everything to Him in prayer and ask for His help? In the book of Nehemiah, the Old Testament 9:6 says, "You alone are the Lord." Get out of the way of that screen. You alone are the Lord. You made the heavens, even the highest heavens and all the starry host, the earth and all that's on it, the seas and all that's in it. You give life to everything, and the multitudes of heaven worship you. He is omnipotent, unlimited power, able to do anything. He is. He is omniscient, all-knowing, knows everything. You think you're pulling something over on Him? You don't. I don't. Not for a minute. Not for a second. He's omnipresent. He's everywhere at the same time. So He's omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent. You ought to hear Charles Stanley do a sermon on that. Whoa, you talk about shucking the corn. These are the reasons we lean on Him and depend on Him and live for Him. For He is the King of kings, the Lord of lords, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And He willingly died for you, and He died for me. He's worthy to be praised and worshipped, the name that is above all names, the name of Jesus. That's what it's all about. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. He's here. He's ready to go. He's chomping. We'll get him on next. Mike Barnett, we're Hammer High Prices. Brock Pittman's here talking T. Ducker football. Jeff Birchfield's going to be here in a few minutes. All that straight ahead on show number 2318 of the Tom Dillon Sports Show, live at Big John's Closeouts here in Elizabethton.
Coffee Company, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Dillon Sports Show. You sell coffee and lots of it. Tell us about the coffee here at the Coffee Company.
We do. So we sell lots of coffee here. We've got all of the lattes that you could want, chais, mochas. We have even hot tea. We sell coffee by the pound. So the Coffee Company, our name is the Coffee Company. So we do sell coffee. There it is.
There it is.
That's great.
Yep.
But we're more than that too. We're about community here. So when you come in to get your coffee in the morning or come in for lunch during the day, it's really about the community that you get to be a part of. Locals, people coming back to visit that used to live here. It's a great way to connect. Great place for business meetings, sit and study, sit and do work here. We have wireless internet. So there's lots of opportunity to enjoy the coffee and enjoy community.
Hours are open?
Hours we are open is 7 to 5, Monday through Saturday, and then we serve lunch from 11 to 3.
Social media, how do we find you?
Well, you can find us at our website at tncoffeecompany.com. Search for us on Facebook. We're also on Instagram, The Coffee Company.
And the magic phone number is?
Is 423-542-3438.
One of our great sponsors in downtown Elizabeth, and be loyal. Support the local businesses. The Coffee Company, proud sponsor of the Tom Dillon Sports Show and Elizabethton Cyclone Sports.
Back on the Tom Douglas Sports Show, here we go. He's here. Mike Barnett, owner, Big John's Closehouse, where we hammer high prices. How'd you like that? Is that good?
Yeah, you led into that pretty good. It's act like you've done this before, before.
Let's see, what have I bought over this year? I bought a leaf blower. I bought a chainsaw, which I'll cut down anything you can find. I'll cut down mailbox, whatever. I love using those.
Better be careful cutting down mailboxes, you know that. Could get
Anything.
in trouble with the feds.
I cut little twigs down. I cut down big around my leg because I got it here. Bought a ladder the other day, used it. Bought some landscaping stuff here. Bought my men wax stain here.
You
Big
actually
oil.
got your granddaughter to run that saw, didn't you? Yes, how about that? I
saw
saw the
that.
video of that. That was
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, I got her to, I said, Pioneer Girl, like late Phil Robertson used to sell in Duck Dynasty. So I got her to run the chainsaw, the steel chainsaw. She said, I kind of like this. I said, you're a redneck at heart. I love it. So
That works out good.
absolutely. I get all my stuff here at Steel, all my stuff here at Big John's because I believe in the man, what he does. And so be loyal, buy local, buy here at Big John. So we're pushing cabinets today. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, you know, when you stop and you think about it, you know, when you're looking at functionality and you know, resale value, if that's important to you, you know, one of the major investments you can put into your home is your kitchen cabinets, because that's a centralized location within the home where a lot of things happen. You know, that's where families get together. That's where they gather. That's where, you know, a lot of times the men, they like to get in there and cook a little bit, and the ladies of the house, naturally, they run it. And if they've got a functional kitchen, then it makes their job so much easier. You know, and kitchen cabinets have changed a great deal over the years. You know, you've got all kind of amenities now that you can get with kitchen cabinets. You know, you can get pull-out trash bins. You know, you can get spice racks. You can get wine racks if that's important. You can get glass doors to highlight maybe some of your finer china that you want people to see, you know, behind those glass doors. You've got soft close on both the doors and the drawers as far as that goes, so they don't slam and all that kind of stuff and do damage to the cabinets as far as that goes. And of course, everything pretty much Big John sells is all wood. Now, you don't find all wood cabinets at all the other vendors that you can go to and buy, and I think that's fairly important because, you know, you look at the longevity of your kitchen. You know, if you're going to put thousands of dollars into a kitchen, you want a kitchen that's going to last.
Absolutely.
You know, and you want a kitchen that's going to be functional and be there for you. And so we think all wood construction is very, very important. You know, and I just brought a bunch of different, colors and things from one of the cabinets that we're highlighting today is, you know, the Valleywood cabinet. You know, they have one of the more popular things that's still out there is a white shaker. You know, a lot of people like a white shaker. They like a clean, you know, bright look. They're going to add a lot of accessories to it to sort of bring some color, whether it's flooring, countertops, curtains, whatever it may be in there. And so, you know, white, and of course the gray. You know, you have a lot of people that steel gray is extremely popular. You've got a couple of grays from Valleywood, and right now Valleywood is running some specials on their freight, you know, which is making it even more affordable to buy theirs. That's a little darker gray as far as that goes. And then, of course, you know, we've started to see more and more people are starting to turn into, you know, wanting to do something different. They want to stand out, whether it's a green, a navy, or whatever, and that's their navy cabinets as far as that goes. So we have that. Some people don't want a really white cabinet, but they don't look for gray. They want to get into earth tones and stuff of that nature. So, you know, they've got that particular color. I know it may be a little bit hard to see, but it's sort of a beige, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah.
And stuff of that nature. And then one that's become really, really popular is their wood look. You know, it's a little bit darker finish of wood, but it isn't a black or an espresso, but it is a darker looking cabinet. And so, you know, that's just some of the different styles. Of course, we have numerous other companies we're dealing with, you know, from Matrix to Vision to ProSelect, Webdon, and other things where, you know, we've got about any style, color, profile that you're looking for that you can find here.
Now, I'm going to say, as I do when I'm at the jeweler's bench and we're showing jewelry off, this little camera up here, don't let that be, it always looks better in person. Come in here and let see these samples, because this camera's not going to do it justice, the colors. So, but it's just to give you an idea. So,
And here, naturally, when you're doing your new kitchen cabinets, you go to look at getting countertops. And, a lot of our post-form countertops, we keep a number of different patterns, which Tom's showing you right here, in stock, in straight pieces that are 8, 10, and 12 foot. So those are in stock. You can pick those up, right here in the store, and you don't have to worry if you're doing just a straight layout or, you've got someone in the household or someone putting in the cabinets that maybe can trim them down and you don't have to turn corners or have any kind of miters. Then we've got those countertops in stock, and you can pick them up right here. And then WebDon also has a quick ship program where you can order a lot of other colors and patterns that you can get relatively quick. Now, a lot of people that have been getting countertops in the last little bit realize that because of Helene and some of the flooding issues that went on, some of the supply chain was disrupted on countertops, and so you were waiting 2, 3 months to get your kitchen countertops. With the Quick Ship program, this is something that WebDon has in local distributors, not necessarily the one in Piney Flats, but maybe in Roanoke or another one relatively Charlotte, that are relatively quick to get. So we can get these things within about a week or so, and then they can do the cutting, mitering, end capping, cutting out for your kitchen sink, rounding it for the edges for a bar top, or whatever your need may be. You can get these things in a fairly quick manner. So, that's important. Also for the customers, we have 2 young men that do our design. They're more than willing to come out and do measurements with you, measure your walls, talk with you on what you're putting in, what kind of appliances you want to do, any kind of special needs that you might have, for those cabinets. They can come back here, get on the computer, do the design, have you come in, look at the design, make sure it's laid out the way you want, and stuff of that nature. Then we can order the top, kitchen cabinets to get them in here. Most delivery times run between 1 week to 2 weeks. Then we can get the cabinets here. We even have 1 or 2 kitchen cabinet companies that we buy from, Jarlin and WebDon, that already assemble them, so they can come in pre-assembled. We also have a couple of folks here that do assembly, so when the cabinets come in, then we can start putting them together. We can even deliver them to your job site and bring them in to you. So, we've got the whole package. We've got the mowing faucets and other things you might want to need. We've got a wide selection of cabinet knobs and pulls here from Amrock. So, you can find everything to finish that kitchen, including LVT flooring and new lights or whatever you might desire.
Be loyal, buy local, buy the Big John's Closeout. It's a mom and pop business. The big boys don't support Cyclone Sports and the Tom Dillard Sports Show and other local things. So we're going to have back on another segment a little later on the show, probably pushing whatever he wants to push, stainless steel, whatever. But it's right here. The hours are open are.
We're here 7:30 to 6 Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 on Saturday, and Sunday we're closed for worship.
Speaking of worship, enjoyed being at your church on Sunday. That was awesome. Mike introduced me. It was very kind. His comments, and Tracy and Talitha Pigford did the music, and it was as I said when I sent out my thank you, the Lord and the Holy Spirit were there. It was awesome at Fairview Baptist.
It was a good day to be in the Lord's house. Yes, it was.
Gary was getting a much-needed vacation, so he asked me to pinch hit for him, and I did. And Mike introduced me. We had a blast. Social media, how do we find you?
Well, you can find us at, we've got, you can look and email us or send any requests to experts, EXPERTS, at Big John's with an S, closeouts with an S.com. Cabinet questions, or just to, maybe set up a measurement or whatever, you can send it to cabinets with an S at BigJohnsCloseouts.com. They can reach me at Mike, M-I-K-E, at BigJohnsCloseouts.com, and we'll be glad to try to answer your questions or any concerns you have, or try to get back with you and deal with whatever issue you might have that we can help you with.
Come back in a few minutes, do it all over again.
Yes, sir.
Another topic. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Brock Pittman, head football coach, Steve Duggar, next on the Tom Dillard Sports Show.
This is Pastor Mark Fowler, and we want to invite you to be with us at Pleasant Beach Baptist Church sometime soon. And we're thankful for what God is doing, and we've had visitors almost every week. We have so many people that God is using His Word to accomplish a work in their life. And we want you to come. I think about our society today, and there's a lot of talk about the negative aspects and generations and what's missing and what we're going to do and how do we face this social issue and how do we face that social issue. And that is always the buzz. And if we're not careful, we talk like God doesn't have an answer. 2 Timothy chapter 3, things come, dangerous times, but the antidote is always God's Word. And so what we're trying to do is to provide Bible answers for today's tough questions. And we're building Believers by the Book. So we want your family to come. We're thankful to have a Sunday school hour and a junior church and master clubs and a youth group and all those things going on. But what we're trying to accomplish is to get the Word of God into the hearts and minds of God's people.
Back to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, thanks for being with us. Why don't I type in? You take a break. We'll be right back. I was talking. We'll come right back right after this and get Coach Brock Pittman.
Very simple. It happens every day. Tell us how we can do it.
Yeah, all you got to do is give us a call. We brought 2 yesterday, actually, but you just give us your name and your birthday and tell us where your prescriptions are at right now, and we'll call that pharmacy, get everything brought over. A lot of times people are nervous about moving because they're afraid something doesn't have refills or something can't be transferred. And when that's the case, we'll call those doctors, get you new prescriptions, and take care of everything, really. It's like the people, one of them we had transferred yesterday, said they'd been trying for about 3 days to get medicine refilled, and just wasn't happening, and was frustrated and asked if we could do better, and called, got everything transferred. Took maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and we had to call the doctor on one, which waiting on doctors can sometimes be a little time consuming, but they got that called in, and by the afternoon we had everything ready for her.
There you go, folks.
So,
it's just that easy. If you're not happy where you're getting your prescriptions filled, come to the Lingerfield Drug Center. The phone number to call and talk to you about it is?
It's 423-542-2138.
There you go. One of our great sponsors right here of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Get your prescription changed to a mom-and-pop pharmacy that still cares about their people and still wants to give you 100% customer satisfaction. It's right here at Lingerfield Drug Center beside Carter County Bank in downtown Elizabethton. Proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
We're back live. We got that. Well, actually didn't. I got that. There you go. Now we got it. Coach Pittman, T.A. Duggar football with us, and his trusty sidekick. Who is that little lady? Having a birthday on Saturday. What's her name?
It's River. I'm sorry.
River. Stand right there, River.
She's 10.
Are you ready? I'm going to do this. I don't do this for just everybody. Happy birthday to you. Like, Daddy, what's wrong with you? He can't sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss River. Happy birthday to you. There you go. I'm not going to ask your daddy to sing.
The Big 10.
The Big 10. Wow.
Yeah, 5th grader, East Side.
Gosh. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes by fast, and it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it goes by fast, but it really goes. The years goes by fast.
Absolutely. So anyway, Coach Pittman was gracious enough to stop by here. Practice is underway at T.A. Duggar football. Had a great year last year. What was our record last year? 8-1. Incredible. Feeder system to Elizabethton football, which is in, as you know, we put it up on the screen. We are at, let's do it here real quick. We'll get into T.A. Duggar football. Here's opening night for the Cyclones is right there. 43 days, 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 55 seconds.
August the 6th.
That's when you guys crank it up?
Yes, sir.
Just tell me about T.A. Duggar football. How many kids are out?
We've got a 70-ish right now. We'll end up with around 70, 75, typical. We've got 25 to 38th graders. We've got a lot of experience coming back from last year. A really good 7th grade class. They got a lot of experience last year in the 6th grade and JV. Great kids. And then, our 6th grade class this year, I mean, they've been awesome. I mean, they're just yes sir, no sir. They just work and they want to learn, and they've been a lot of fun to work with. So
that's half the battle, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, you couldn't ask for anything better than the group of kids that we have to work with.
Coaching sponges, they absorb it. They want to learn. Little Bill Birchfield, little Jimmy Stout, little Angie Wilhoit, Penny Hurd. Jeff Birchfield joins us coming up here in a few minutes. So you've got the schedules out. So August the 6th, which is
well, we're going to have 2 scrimmages. Our first scrimmage is going to be on a Monday, July the 28th, against Central at home at Citizens Bank. And then that following Saturday, August the 2nd, we're going to host Anderson County at noon on a Saturday. And so that's always a big scrimmage for us. And that leads up to the high school because, the road to the playoffs goes
through T.A. Duggar.
Starts here, but, you're going to end up with Anderson County at some point in the high school level.
So the first one is July the
28th. It's a Monday, and that's going to be around at 6 o'clock p.m.
And then the other one I got right.
It's the following Saturday, August 2nd, and that's at noon.
There you go.
And then that following Wednesday is our first game.
Which should be August the 6th.
Yes, sir. And we got Abingdon's coming. So we got the Falcons. And then we play 3 road games back to back at Sullivan Heights, at Indian Trail, at Sevier. Now that first game's on Wednesday, but every game after that's on Thursday.
Yep.
So at Sullivan Heights, at Indian Trail, and at Sevier, then we have 4 straight home games. We're at home versus Robinson, Tennessee Middle, Liberty Bell, and Crockett, and then we finish at Greenville.
Great schedule. People don't understand, even because of the success T.A. Duggar has down in middle school, it's not always easy to go get non-conference teams. Not everybody wants to play, do they?
No, and this year we had a little conference shake-up. We had some teams that kind of are wanting to shift conferences. So, this year we're not going to be playing Boone. So we replaced them with Abingdon, and we're really happy with that because, Abingdon's it's an out-of-state kind of rivalry that we can get going, and they've got a really good program, so we're excited.
That'll be on August the 6th, but the scrimmages will be July the 28th. Who you scrimmage on that first one? Central?
Central, yes, sir.
Okay, and on August 2nd, Anderson County.
Yes, sir.
There you go. So
the Mavericks.
The Mavericks are coming, and Central would be used to be the Cougars. I don't know if
it might still be.
Still be the Cougars.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So rattle off some kids' names you're counting on. I know there's the Baker boys going to be counting on. There's probably Witten boy we're counting on, right?
Well, we've got, obviously the 8th grade class is going to be the guys that we really lean on. And those guys are Creed Baker. He's going to play quarterback and linebacker and safety. And Luke Vance, Jaden Johnson, those guys have really improved. Carson Lyons is going to be one of those guys that he's going to carry the ball a lot for us, and we're gonna ask a lot out of him. We're going to ask a lot out of all of these guys. But Carson's going to be a name. The Shelby brothers are going to be in 8th grade. And
give their first names, the mamas won't get
Adam and Aaron. Adam and Aaron Shelby. I think they're on vacation, but they'll be back.
Okay.
Let's see here. We've got Baron Grindstaff. He's been with us the whole time. Tristan Cordell. We're excited about him. He reminds me of his brother, and his brother was a really good player for us, Aldo. Trey Haynes, a great kid, good player. Nolan Bowles has really come along. He's one of those kids that, he stuck out in spring football, and he's just kind of gone from there. Tyson Elliott, Nate Pippin is going to play some linebacker and some H-back. Stephen Gorby's another guy that's long, and we're going to put him in the right place. And Jacob Hodge, another great kid that's just, like I said, we've got great kids. Axel Matherly, I remember him in 6th grade. He only wanted to play defense. And I was like, that's fine, because he can play. You can play whatever you want. Just play. And now he's wanting to play everything, and he can. And he looks a lot older than his age. He's one of those guys. Jaden Wiles, Preston Eastep, Brett Jones is a offensive defensive lineman that is just you can't ask for a better kid to coach, and he's going to be a great player. Braden Holt's come a long ways, and this is going to be a big year for him. I think we're really excited about him. Evan Moreland, he's another really good sized kid that's come a long ways in 3 years, and they always come a long ways though. I mean, when we get them to sixth graders, you've got ones that stand out over others, but then you never really know what you got until they start hitting eighth grade, and then
it's like the butterfly in the cocoon.
Right, they just start growing, and Carson Buckles, Michael Sheets, and then we got Bentley Grindstaff who's coming out this year. We're excited about him. His dad, their dad was a Division I football player. Mr. Grindstaff was. So I mean, obviously that helps. And then, obviously seventh graders. This is a great group. A lot of skilled players, a lot of speed. Ryder Witten, Cooper Fair. He shows a lot of skill, natural skill. Ethan Long, Tyson Price, Nolan Smith. We have him down as Nate with a dollar sign. We call him Nate Money. His name is actually his last name is Sasana Shandang. So we need to practice that because he's going to be in the backfield making plays this year. So you're going to have to learn how to say Sasana Shandang. Case Malone, Braden Willis, Bradley Farmer, Elijah Odom, Nick Anderson, Will Lewis, Cosmo Vereen. That's a name right there. Tristan Cole is going to be a good lineman. Cole Reese, lineman. Madden Fain, Noah Crawford. There's no way I'm naming everybody, but I'm just trying to skip through it real quick. And then the sixth graders we don't have on the roster. We got some of them, but Peyton Wallen. He's another Wallen. I think he might be the third or fourth and final Wallen.
Yeah.
He's going to be he's a great kid. He's going to be a great player. Easton Metcalf, Coleman, Clemson, Camp Harden. I mean, it's just, and this, like I said, this sixth grade group, I mean, they've been just so, like you said, like a sponge. Yes sir, no sir, just working hard. They ask questions.
They want to learn.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. And so, yeah, we're excited about this team. And
Peyton's granddad, I go to church with him, he said he's going to be the meanest of the boys. He's been, he's the last one coming. He's been they picked on him, and brothers.
Oh, yeah.
He said he's the meanest of us. He's going to be the best one of the bunch.
Yeah.
He's coming from his granddaddy. So
yeah. I mean, that's how it goes, though, really.
Oh, absolutely.
The younger brother takes a beat.
Survival of the fittest. The law of the jungle. Yeah. And that way, we had 4 boys, and the little one turned out to be the meanest one of all of us because he was our punching bag. That's what it was.
Then you end up being the punching bag when he gets older.
Oh, yes. Paybacks are tough. So, pretty exciting stuff. Again, 8-1. Of course, the record speaks for itself. Conference championships virtually every year. I mean, I think we went back and looked. Coach Whitten and I don't think we haven't finished below second or third in 8 or 9, 10 years.
It's been a long time.
T.A. Duggar football. So the expectation is there. You guys, you selling the cards this year too?
Yes, sir.
We're
actually, we just got done with our first initial fundraiser, and the community's been awesome. So we met our goal there. And on July, I think we're going to try to start July the 29th selling physical cards, the discount cards.
Yep.
Actual, not a lot. And the online stuff. I understand it. I didn't like that stuff either. People want a card, so we're going to have cards to sell.
Yeah, they do. I
so
love cards.
We're excited about that. So
they get to keep that, or is that your copy?
You can keep this if you like.
Yeah,
but it needs to be updated. Like I said,
it gives you an idea. So the kid that we saw last year, there was a lot of great kids last year, but one that's going on up to the high school that you got to keep your eye on is Legend Peyton.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not slighting the other kids, but when the kid scores 7 touchdowns against Greenville, which is not exactly a cupcake program to say the least, so you have that kind of talent coming. So there's a lot of youngins went up. It's now freshmen, Cyclones. There's a 7-on-7 tonight at Science Hill for the varsity for the Cyclones. I don't know who's going to be there, but it's at Science Hill at 7, so I'm going to go over and check it out. As I told you earlier, Rhett got a front page on the Johnson City Press today. So
oh, did he?
Yeah, it says Rhett is ready. So there you go. What was his record? Let's see. What to say he was as the starting quarterback? 20-6, I think is what it said. So 16-6, Cyclone starting quarterback. So Anyway, it's T.A. Duggar football, so you guys are practicing in the morning while it's cool, and so.
Yeah, we started Monday morning with little camps, and Coach Whitten likes to do that just to, we were going to give helmets out to little groups at a time, and then we had an O-line, D-line camp, then we had a couple of skill camps in the mornings, and then this morning was our first full team practice. We had a really good practice. We go from 7:30 to 9:30, and we just, we're rolling now. It's here.
Yep.
So.
You had 70 kids out.
Yes, sir.
For middle school football.
Yes, sir.
It's incredible.
And we've got a great coaching staff.
Yeah, let's rattle those off, too.
We still have some unnamed. We still have a position or two to fill, but, defensively, it's going to be Eddie Moreau with the defensive line, Coach Fox with the linebackers, Coach Matt Fox with the linebackers. He's been, with the program for a long time. And, obviously Coach Whitten and
Ryan Whitten, Eddie Moreau,
Colby
Matt
Garland.
Fox. Who?
Colby Garland is our offensive line coach. Last year, he's doing a great job. I'm leaving somebody out. Lord.
Welcome to my world.
I'm leaving somebody out. But this is why I like to write things down.
Yeah. Who helps in offense?
I mean, we all work together, but it's Colby's offensive line, and then he played quarterback for us at high school. I can't think of his name.
Dalton Mitchell.
Dalton, yes, sir.
Yeah,
Dalton Mitchell does a great job.
Yeah.
And then we've got a position to fill, so we're working on that. And but we've got a great coaching staff. It doesn't get any better.
No, we're on the middle school level.
Yes,
so, young ladies having a birthday party. What's your theme? What's it going to be?
You want to say?
No.
She's the Sanrio.
Sanrio.
Yeah.
Which is
with the Hello Kitty characters.
Kitty, yep.
And her favorite one is Pom Pom Purin, right?
Pom Pom Purin birthday party.
Likes, what's that other one's name? The one that I like. Pachaco? No, you don't like Pachaco.
You think she loves her daddy? I think so. That's what it's all about.
She's got me into the Hello Kitties scene. Yeah,
that's all right. That's all right. Trust me, it's all right. When they're gone, they're married, or off to college, and he's like, I remember those days. So
Cinema Roll, that's the one.
Cinema
Roll.
Soak
Without
it up.
the N.
Soak it
It's
up.
like Cinema Roll.
Cinema Roll.
I had to learn this because if I say it wrong, she corrects me.
Soak it up.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the moment, because I promise you, you'll blink and it'll be gone. Grown up and gone. Out. With some old stinky boy. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Jeff Birchfield joins us. Thanks for coming, Coach.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we'll have him on again soon. Back after this, Mr. Birchfield's in the house on the Tom Dillon Sports Show.
We're talking to our great sponsor of Cyclone Sports and Tom Dillon Sports Show, Dr. Smith, and the folks at Physical Therapy Services. For those out there who have no clue, tell us what it's all about.
Physical Therapy Services is a local mom and pop run physical therapy and occupational therapy clinic. We have clinic locations. We have 3 locations, 2 in Elizabethton, 1 in Roan Mountain. Our main office, where I'm located at 1975 West Elk Avenue, we focus on adults and athletic injuries. We have a pediatric clinic at 1500 West Elk Avenue that does both physical therapy and occupational therapy for the little kiddos out there. And then we have a clinic in Roan Mountain as well to take care of our wonderful Carter Countyans in the Roan Mountain community, and all focused on orthopedics and sports-related injuries, along with just general concerns with patients and people that want to be able to get out and move better. The human body is made to move, and that's what we try to do, is keep people moving.
Keep people moving. Hours are open.
7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Social media, how do we find out more about you?
Physical Therapy Services on Facebook. Look us up. You can also find us online at ptstn.net. And or you can just call the office, 423-543-0073, and we will put you in touch with the right people to get you the correct care that you need, whether it's through us or through one of our other affiliates that we work with.
There you go. One of our great sponsors, love promoting them. Again, the great folks at Physical Therapy Services, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
All right, we ready for story time? Yes, Warren?
Mrs. Turner, for your last day, we would like to tell the story.
Okay.
Once upon a time, in this town, a little girl named Meredith Turner was born. And she grew up right here.
She went to this very school and graduated right here. She went away for a short time to learn to be a teacher.
But she came back to teach right here.
She got married and raised a family right here. Our moms and dads had you as their teacher right here.
And we do too. So right here, we'd all like to say,
We love you, Mrs. Turner!
I'm on the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate you very much. Hello, Patrick Bornefelt. I'm sure I'm not saying it right. B-O-R-N-E. Maybe Bornfeld. Coach Pittman watching. Thank you, sir. What a great guy. You know, look, I'm a sentimental old cuss, and he brings his kid in, sits with him, has her on his lap, and that's what it's all about, man. It's all about relationships. You know that. You got kids.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if Coach Pittman mentioned it, but his family, they grow a lot of corn. They're really...
He farms.
Yeah, farms a lot of good yellow corn, white corn, and all that they raise.
Right up
Lynn Valley.
Lynn Valley, thank you. So, yep. So, and when you want to watch Jeff Birchfield light up back in the day, when your kids are younger, so I'm going to go spend time with my daughter, my son, he just lit up like a Christmas tree. That's what it's all about.
I still love spending time with them. Matter of fact, my daughter's in her 20s, and we had lunch together just 2 days ago.
Yep. I spent 2 days of mine last week. Took them down to Pigeon Forge, and we just had a big time. Whatever y'all want to do, let's do it. And because look, they grow up, they grow out, they get married, they have youngins. So love them while you got them, folks. I'm telling you, I can't emphasize that enough. Right? So NASCAR, here we go. The road courses. Shane Van Gisbergen wins Chicago, going to Sonoma this week. Back-to-back road courses. I'm anti-road courses. A lot of folks I talk to are anti-road courses. Why does NASCAR have that many road courses in the hunt?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of them either. I do like Sonoma. It's more of your traditional road course and better fit for NASCAR cars. But those street courses with like Chicago and then, of course, Mexico City sort of goes inside that stadium and all that, I'm not a fan of either one of those courses at all. Good thing is they're likely to drop the Chicago street course from the schedule next year, but they're talking about, replacing it with the street course at San Diego. So
they're dropping it for what reason? What was a dud?
Well, I think they're losing a lot of money on it, which is what it normally comes down to in NASCAR, I hate to say, but
yeah,
truth.
And I understand crowning a champion to be able to run a super speedway and the short tracks and a road course on occasion, but was it 7 races this year, a road course?
Yeah, and I mean, really, NASCAR, I think 4 should be a limit on road courses, NASCAR is a stock cars oval track series and all, and that's where your drivers shine and all, and really, Van Gisbergen's made the NASCAR drivers look average on the road courses.
26 races in the regular season, so 7 of the road courses, so over a third of the races are road courses. You know what? They're not going to change it. Jeff and I don't like it, but the point is, you got 9 going back-to-back to Sonoma. So, to get into the playoffs, am I saying his name right, Gisbergen?
Yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen. Yeah, a lot of people say SVG for short.
Yeah, Van Gisbergen. I mean, he's won 2 races. He's in the playoffs. He's going to be in the playoffs if he wants to be, with only 2 wins on the whole circuit for the season, because he basically just runs road courses, right?
Well, he runs the whole schedule, but now before the first road course win at Mexico City, I think it was like 32nd in points. That's the reason that he wasn't in part of that NASCAR in-season challenge that's going on right now, that where they have the head-to-head competition, because they had the cutoff after the Nashville race, and he was, outside the top 30 at that point.
I've asked a couple of people, said, what do you think about this in-season challenge? They said, what? People have no clue, and they don't care. Do the drivers care?
I think the drivers care if they're still in it, because the winner gets $1 million. I think, NASCAR has promoted it some, but I think the only thing bad on that, the first race on that was Mexico City, was Atlanta, was the restrictor plate or not a restrict plate, but it's like a drafting track, sort of like Daytona and Talladega anymore. And you had the big wreck, so a lot of your favorites were knocked out, you know, in that first round. And then you got road courses after that, so it's not very good in my opinion.
Hello, Darren Silver over in Spruce Pine, North Carolina. How you doing, sir? Mal anymore. Hello, Mal. How you doing, lady? Appreciate you watching the show. So here's what you've got going to Sonoma this week. Kyle Larson, these are the guys that are in for sure. Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Shane Van Gisbergen, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Ross Chastain, Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, Austin Cindric, and Josh Berry are all in on wins. Now, I saw where Logano and Chastain didn't get along after Chicago, so...
Yeah, they had a little run-in, for sure.
Logano said, I watched the interview, he said he just conceded to me. They had a little dust up in the pits after it was over. He walks away to the media and says he just conceded that he intentionally wrecked me. He said, there'll be paybacks. I said, right, you may be going to the trailer, talk to the NASCAR boys, but Logano said there'll be a payback. So
yeah.
Tempers are starting to flare, aren't they?
Yeah, this time of year especially, you know, you get in the heat of summer and all, so it's, the guys get tired, I guess, they race each other week after week.
So the guys in on points, there's 12 for sure that are nailed down at this point. You got 4 on points, Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher, and Bubba Wallace. And so Wallace only 2 points ahead of Ryan Preece. A.J. Allmendinger, Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones still in the mix, but they're on the outside looking in. So Sonoma, what's the trademark of the Sonoma track?
Well, Sonoma, like I said, is a road course, more of a traditional road course than those street courses. One thing does have good is one of the uphills and downhills and all that. You know, it's course only. Dale Earnhardt's only road course win in his career came at Sonoma, and the same way for Jimmy Johnson. They never won another road course either than those.
Huh. See, that's what he brings to the table. He's forgot more than we know, so there you go.
Then you were talking Bubba Wallace and Alex Bowman. They had their run-in Sunday as well.
So Earnhardt and JJ are the only two that have ever won. The only road course they ever won was in Sonoma.
Yeah, that's correct.
Did not know that. All right, so who would be a fave one out there?
Denny Hamlin runs well there typically. Chase Elliott, you know, has always been good on the road courses. Of course, Kyle Larson leading the points. I mean, I think anytime you're going to a road course right now, Van Gisbergen, you have to, you know, say he's a favorite. Probably Christopher Bell, the guy that's actually the top of the points right now. And William Byron, he's usually good on the road courses.
So beyond Sonoma, after this week, get that over with, get back to what I call real racing. So where they go, Dover next?
Yeah, Dover, and then, you know, it's a high-banked 1 mile concrete track like Bristol. It's the other concrete tracks other than Bristol and Nashville. So usually good racing there at Dover. I was talking to Jimmy Johnson. That's a place he was phenomenal at. I think he won 11 times there more than anybody.
Axel Steins is here. He'll be on in a few minutes. Good ball cap. Axel Steins shines, folks. He'll be here in a minute on the show. We're talking to our buddy Jeff Birchfield. You know Penny Hurd. She's watching.
I do know Penny Hurd. Wonderful lady. That's my girlfriend. Just talking kids. I mean, she threw a huge 4th of July bash at her house, which everybody appreciated. And my kids really enjoyed coming over there and spending time with her and her family as well.
Bill Birchfield, you know him?
Well, I know that old codger a little bit there.
Yeah, he's watching too. So there you go. It's good. We got the Jeff Birchfield fan club watching. It's good stuff. So you head off to Sonoma, then you go back to Dover. We're not that far away from the playoffs. We're not that far away from the big race at Bristol on September the 13th. Right now they're converting it into a baseball field. Been up there to see that?
Yeah, I was up there just a couple of days ago. Had a story, you know, in yesterday's paper, the progress. The field turf's actually being laid down right now. So the field, I would say maybe by today's finished, the field itself, but now they're building locker rooms, weight rooms, coaches' offices. They have to do a whole lot of extra stuff for Major League Baseball that they didn't have to do with the college football game that they hosted up there.
Yeah, they got to make clubhouse and locker rooms to spec to meet the standards of Major League Baseball. So there's a lot of work to be done. It's, you look on the calendar, today is the 10th, you got about 3 weeks to the baseball game.
3 weeks baseball game, and then they got to tear all that down and build back part of the Goodyear building and pit walls back for the race that you're talking about in September.
Bass Pro Shop Night Race coming up on September the 13th, which is part of the playoff picture now. So the playoffs are right around the corner. That's the goal for everybody. And right now, we told you just now who's in, who's right there on points, but that can all change. So It's Reddick, Bowman, Busher, and Wallace right now will be the points guys. Outside looking in, Ryan Priest, A.J. Allmendinger, Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones. So any of these guys win, that knocks it all off. You get 16 slots. We got 12 slots filled right now, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if you had, for argument's sake, I don't think it's going to happen, but if you had 5 guys win, then you go to the lowest guy in points among those who have one win.
Oh, really? That's how it works?
Mm-hmm.
So if you get 16 winners, the low man on the points is one's going to be out.
Well, 16, and then you'd have the, say you had 17 winners, yeah, that would be, But right now, I mean, it's not a very good chance of that happening with only 7 races to go. Although you do have the road course, which is a little bit of a, different. The Indy sometimes will produce a surprise winner, and then, of course, got Daytona, I think, is the last race there of the regular season.
Which is the wild card, of course, to say the least. So that's all coming up now. We had some storms last night. Kingsport Speedway took a hit with the storms, didn't it?
Yeah, I had a lot of damage over there toward the roof away there at the concession stand. One of the pieces of metal landed on top of a car. Some of the fencing was torn up. A building down the infield was, torn up. But I did talk to the general manager, Vern Deal, earlier this morning. He's very thankful because a lot of the people come over there volunteered their time and all cleaned up a bunch of that stuff last night after the afternoon storm, including some of the racers. I know Bruce Crumley, Jay Swecker. I hate to name them all because I'll leave somebody out, but a lot of those guys were there contributing their time and effort to get the place cleaned up. You mentioned Penny. She's got a mowing service, and she's got one of those big old heavy trailers, and that wind actually carried it down the hill. So it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was definite high winds that tore up Kingsport Speedway, so they're in the process of getting it up picked. When's the next scheduled race?
Well, it was scheduled for Friday, and they've already canceled that. But next Friday, they've got their one of their big races coming up, so they're going to try to get that one done because it's in conjunction with Fun Fest. And the week after that's their fan appreciation race, so they want to have everything ready for those 2 races.
Been a tough year racing. Kingsport Speedway had a lot of rain, a lot of cancellations, didn't it?
Yeah, I had 3 races canceled by rainouts. And they're not racing weekly like they used to. It's more of a bi-weekly deal. So, they've not raced there in going to be 8 weeks after Friday night.
Wow. So once they get back on the track, it'll be wild because it'll have all that pent-up adrenaline.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and luckily, Newport Speedway's been going pretty well, and they've had a few races up at Lonesome Pine Raceway. So, you've had some of the guys competing there, but a lot of the late models, though, they only compete at Kingsport. So, you had those guys haven't been on the track, like I said, in quite a few weeks now.
What else are you working on for the paper?
Golly, you name it, I'm working on it. It seems like I've talked to the Milligan track and field coach this morning, got the Crazy Eights racing Kingsport, a press conference for that tomorrow, a bunch of stories about the Speedway Classic, including an interview with Elizabeth and resident here, Jeff Reed, the former catcher on the 1990 World Series champion Cincinnati Reds. I'm going to go to actually pretty exciting opportunity. We're supposed to go to the Major League Baseball Media Day, some of us local media, next week. So that should be really, really exciting. I would never dream I'd get to cover something like that. And then, of course, doing a lot of NASCAR stuff. Got a boxing feature in tomorrow's papers. Got a couple of kids going to be competing in the National Golden Glove. So a wide variety. And I originally was even going to do rodeo on Saturday, but instead I've forgotten about the Tennessee State Championship motocross out at Muddy Creek, so I'm going to go there instead, I guess, on Saturday.
You're going to cover the rodeo, or you're going to be in the rodeo?
No, I'm going to cover the rodeo. Now, I did a story a couple weeks ago on one of the one of the saddle bronc riders and all, so yeah, that'd be interesting if I was in the rodeo. I might be the clown.
I could know you'd be a bull rider. I see you out there riding on the big old bulls with the big old cowboy hat on and going, yippee-ki-yo, here we go. 8 seconds, all you got to do. Last 8 seconds on that bull and win it. So.
Yeah, most times you see those guys out there, they last about 2 seconds.
2 seconds get slung.
Yeah, and same on the saddle broncs. Those things are a lot tougher to ride than people think as well, because those horses and bulls buck differently, and if you got a saddle on, the horse bucks differently than like if you're riding them bareback.
Absolutely. You know that well. You're exactly right. Trying to think of Tom Browning, the late Tom Browning. Jeff Reed caught the perfect game. Tom Browning's passed away, so But Jeff Reese from here is coaching at Providence Academy, doing a great job.
Yeah, and he played back in the day for the Elizabethton Twins, coached with Ray Smith with the Twins for several years. So, yeah, Jeff's always a great guy. He played a lot of different franchises, played the Colorado Rockies, the Montreal Expos, Chicago Cubs, and San Francisco Giants. And, he's got great memories of all those places, but Cincinnati, he said, was, the most special. It's just something about that town's always been such a great baseball town. And as you know from around here, I mean, the Reds and Braves have always been, the two most popular teams overall.
Absolutely. Good job, sir. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. See you next week somewhere. We'll get a hold of you and track you down. A quick break. We got Mike to come back in one more time. We got Axel Steins Shines next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Start thinking stains and painting. You got a full line. Tell us about that. Big John's Closeouts.
Yeah, we've got about anything that you might need in your interior painting supplies and stuff of that nature, from either Valspar or the California paint, which used to be many years ago Gray Seal paint. A lot of people remembers that. As far as that nature, we can mix different colors. We've got color charts that you can pick from. We've got your primers if you've got where you've had a water leak or whatever. We've got primers and things that you can put on there so it doesn't bleed through as far as that goes. And of course, we've got all your application items that you might need, from paint brushes to rollers to everything from Worcester, which is American made pretty much. And so we're very proud of that. A lot of people will be starting to think about getting out on the deck now that it's getting warmer and things of that nature. Not only doing repair work with our full line of treated lumber and other stuff, but thinking about staining. Whether you want a semi-transparent, semi-solid, solid color stain. We stock the Cabot line, and we're also bringing in a new line of stain that is a Ready Seal stain, which is almost bulletproof. You just pretty much with their stain product eliminate any brush marks, lap marks with your rollers. It flows, and basically you get an almost foolproof finish with that Ready Seal stain. We'll have about 6 to 8 colors in stock probably within the next 2 weeks of that. And so we're very excited about having that. That's going to be our newest line that we're adding.
It's awesome. It's all available. Big John's Closeouts here in Elizabethton. The hours are open, sir.
7:30 to 6 Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 on Saturday.
And how can we find you and find out more on social media?
BigJohnsCloseouts.com. You can also email us at experts@BigJohnsCloseouts.com or give us a call at 542-4755.
Well, we're great sponsors of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Be loyal, buy local at Big John's Closeouts here in Elizabethton.
Look who's stopped by today. He's worked us into his busy schedule. Axel Steins Shines. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good on this Thursday, July the 10th.
Yep. You had basketball practice today?
Yep.
All those kids, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Coach Honeycutt, there's like 50 or 60 kids out there. What's the name of the camp? Little guys camp? So what you call it?
Yeah, Future Basketball Camp coming next week on Tuesday, July the 15th, and running through Thursday, July 17th.
There you go. We've got a 7-on-7 tonight at Science Hill. If you want to go by and watch, there's, I don't know how many teams are involved, but Cyclones will be there tonight at 7 o'clock doing a 7-on-7. Countdown to Cyclone football is what?
Is 43 days, 2 hours, and 41 minutes, and 25 seconds.
Absolutely. It is coming quick. 43 days, so tomorrow will put us down to
42.
42, which would be 6 weeks to kickoff, so it's hard to believe it's right around the corner. So for folks, I can't believe they wouldn't have not seen you before, but in case you've never seen Axel Steins on this show, tell them about the Cyclone Walk.
Well, they come out of the locker room, we would get them pepped up, of course, and then I'm recording it for the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page, me and Carrie are, and then in case if you did not know, folks, we only have 4 home games, 6 road this year. Next year, we will kind of reverse it and all of that. And so, the first Cyclone Walk will be the first Friday in September against the Westridge Wolves. We would scrimmage them all the time, folks. We actually never played them for real.
Yep, always scrimmaged them, but now we're playing them for real, for keeps. As they say in marbles, so that's. Have you ever played? You probably never played marbles, have you?
Yeah, I actually had before, like when I was a kid or something.
Yeah, when you were a kid, but now you're grown up. I got you. I understand.
I'm only 15 years old.
Yeah, but you're well beyond your years, sir. So,
yeah.
Dad, did you ever play marbles when you was a kid? Cat eyes and steelies and all that? Oh, yeah, playing marbles. So the old adage is when you play marbles, you play for keeps. So now we're playing Westridge for keeps. It counts. It's not a practice. It's the real deal on September the 5th.
That'll be our first Cyclone walk.
Mm-hmm. You get to see Axel Steins on the Cyclone walk, he and Carrie, and they'll be taping it, or not taping it, live streaming it on both Facebook and YouTube. We'll be excited about that. Then we'll get, see, the next one will be when, you remember?
September 26th, Homecoming 2025, Northview Academy, the Cougars.
Why would I ask? I know that. What's the third game? He already knows this. Go ahead.
And the third game will be the Sullivan East Patriots.
Yeah. And the fourth game will be?
So apparently, Seymour's back in our league, so they're back in. We will see them this year on the 24th of October.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and then the regular season finale will be at Burley Stadium, just like last year against Greenville.
And for whatever reason, I wrote this down. Your mother's birthday is on October the 10th. I don't know why I got that in there, but I guess because she's your mama. So it's the Crystal Steins Day on Friday, October the 10th.
Yeah, that's like a bye week for the Cyclones, yeah.
Well, it's birthday week for the, I guarantee for the Steins, we better be pulling out the stops. Guarantee over there, Dad, you better be making Mama happy. It's her birthday on the 10th. So that's good. So you going back down to the camp, or you done for the day?
I'm done for the day. We might grab some lunch after this.
Yeah, so you're not going back to the basketball camp today?
We're taking tomorrow off as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm at Gray tomorrow. You coming to Gray tomorrow, too? Is that part of the plan?
Yeah. Axel's summer road trip will be back in action tomorrow at Food City in Gray. And then Monday from Pizza Inn.
You got it. He's all fired up about that spaghetti. Let me tell you what. He's not bigger than a minnow, but I'm going to tell you, the boy can flat eat spaghetti, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can throw it down. He goes back for another play. He gets 3 or 4 plates. He gets his money's worth at the Pizza Inn. We'll be there on Monday doing the show. So show him your sign one more time. We'll let Mike come back. There it is. The Axel's Summer Road Trip with Tom Taylor. Who made that for you?
Tammy Troutman from the place where you're going to be next Wednesday, the Eagles Center.
There you go. Axel Steins knows more about me than I do. I'm telling you. He is on top of it. He is on top of what's going on in this show. Always. I appreciate you. You're my buddy. Show him what we are. Look here. We're pinky buddies forever. Don't ever.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever. Don't ever say, no reason why you would, but don't ever say anything negative about this man in front of me, because I'm going to get to you before his daddy gets to you. So don't ever say anything bad about Axel Steins in my presence. It's going to be ugly, because I'm going to take up for my buddy. Right?
Right.
Right. See you tomorrow?
See you tomorrow at Food City in Gray.
You got it. He's a good guy. We are lucky to have him. As I've told many people, if everybody walking this planet had the attitude and the smile and just the good nature that Axel Steins has, we'd be a better place, because Axel Steins shines. Tell him what I always say at the end of the show.
Bloom where you planted it, and win or lose, be a good sport. Boom.
After a long, hard day at work, all you want to do is relax at home, right? But how can you possibly relax when your home's not comfortable? If you want to feel more comfortable at home, give Advanced Heat Pump Systems a call today. With over 30 years of experience and the most innovative solutions, you can rest assured that Advanced Heat Pump Systems will make your home more comfortable. Give them a call today, 926-2665, or visit them online at advancedheatpump.com.
Our success is your success.
Back to the Tom Dillon Sports Show. We just looked on the calendar. 167 days till Christmas Eve. Why do you tell him that, Tom? Because he was telling me off air, we're more than halfway through the year, the calendar year, which is unbelievable. And so folks are already starting to think fall, winter, colder weather, replacement windows. You got a bunch of them.
Yes, we like to, try to help people if we can to help on their energy bills. You're thinking of heating and cooling. There's always something going on with your heating system or cooling system, heat pumps, whatever, and it can be quite an expense, when you start breaking it down, especially when it gets extremely cold or as we've had extremely hot weather when you're in the 90s and stuff. It's important to try to find ways to conserve, because it helps your bills and stuff of that nature, and it makes it easier on the systems to, furnish electricity that we need. You hear of countries that have rolling blackouts, and you've seen this in the past in California and places like that, and because it's such a strain on the grid and the system, the more that we can do to help cut down on that, the better off we are in the back pocket and as society in general. But, one of the biggest ways that we lose energy and stuff is inefficient windows, and stuff of that nature. So, when you're talking about, replacement windows and you're looking at a window that you can buy to put in your home to take the place of wood windows, old aluminum windows, maybe windows that you put in 20, 30 years ago, you can look at a replacement window, and these things can be made to fit. They can go and make them within every quarter of an inch. So you can get a window made to fit just about any opening that you've got. And one of the better ways to figure out what you actually need, is if you can ease the casing off on the inside of one of your windows, especially if you have a number of windows, and a lot of times in your bedrooms and stuff, you've got the same window throughout. So if you can ease the casing off and get what the measurement is from stud to stud and what the header to the seal is, then you can undersize that window by a quarter inch, half inch, whatever you feel comfortable with, and you can get a window that will slide right in. They attach through the sides. They're already pre-drilled, so you run screws through the side of the window to hold it to your jacks there and stuff of that nature, and then you can trim it out either with broke metal that a lot of people will do, especially if you're doing new siding or whatever, or you can trim it out with a small piece of molding, or you can caulk it. If you get it tight enough, you can put a little bit of caulk in there, maybe a little bit of insulation around it in that little small gap that you've got, and you've got a real tight, well-sealed window. These windows, we can order them with low E, argon gas. We can get them even higher energy efficiency, for Energy Star type windows, as they call them, where that they are the most proficient in cutting down on heat loss or heat gain as far as that goes. Both windows tilt, so if you're looking at a two-story house, and you need to clean the window, you can tilt the top down and you can clean it, put it back up, raise the bottom window up a little bit, tilt it out, clean it, put it back in. It just snaps back in. You've got catches that release. So it makes it easier to maintain the window. It makes it easier on the homeowner and the lady of the house to keep her windows clean. You can get them with a half screen that will go up and down. You may have a situation where you've got smaller children in the home. And so, the bottom window, you don't necessarily want to raise where maybe they can push it out, or maybe an animal, your cat or something wants to play with. So you can raise that half screen up, lower the top sash down to get ventilation in spring and fall without having to worry about a child or an animal maybe escaping from the house as far as that nature. Or you can get a full screen if you want to get, a full screen, but, that's your options that you can get. You can get different grid patterns. You can get regular colonial looking grid patterns, which looks like like X's and stuff, on a checkerboard. You can get a single bar. You can get prairie grids. You can get all kind of different things, different colors. You can even order windows, in beige or a darker color than that, clay and white. Of course, we stock some white windows here. We stock some of the more popular size windows here in stock, ones that match pretty much what you found in some of your older wooden window, homes here in town and the surrounding community. They're in stock, so you can just come right in and pick them up.
It's all right here at Big John's Closeout. Be loyal, buy local, buy the Big John's, mom and pop business. As we say all the time, he supports Cyclone Sports with us and the Tom Taylor Sports Show and the Animal Shelter and Sycamore Shoals, and it goes on and on and on. Always giving back to the community, so he scratches our back, we got to scratch his. So, as I said earlier in the show, I just bought a ladder the other day, a Warner ladder. Perfect, loved it. Bought the landscape, bought a couple of those plastic, looks like an old oak barrel.
Planters, yes.
Planters, thank you.
Planters, yep.
Bought 2 of those. Steel, chainsaw, leaf blower, weed eater. What's the 4th one? Hedge trimmer. Bought all 4 of those, battery powered, love them. My men wax stains to stain my hardwood floors, the polyurethane, get them right here. If I needed windows, whatever I need, I won't come here because he supports me and I support him, plus he's my buddy. So, but it's be loyal, buy local, and you have your customer base. Let's talk about that for a second. I know you got them obviously from Elizabeth and Carter County. I'm going to guess you got them coming in from Western North Carolina. Probably Unicoi County. You probably got them coming in from everywhere, don't you?
Yeah, mostly local communities and counties around us. We have customers that come in from all that, and you're right, over in North Carolina, some from Virginia, that come in, and we've delivered cabinets and stuff over into Virginia and into North Carolina and other places like that, and we offer delivery services on other items, siding, lumber and stuff. We've got a couple of flatbed trucks. We can get the material out to you. We try to charge just a reasonable price to cover the fuel and the employee that's going to be away from the store and stuff of that nature. But we try to make it where it's easy to deal with us. If you come in and you deal with us, you're going to find that we want to help you load. Now sometimes we're a little behind if we get real busy or we've got a number of customers that come in at one time, but we want to help you load. We want to help you make sure you get what you come in here that you're looking for. If we stock it, if we don't, we'll try to order it for you if that's something that you can wait on. Special size windows, as we just promoted, special size doors, special color vinyl siding that maybe you're looking for. If you've got a little bit of patience, we'll work our best to try to end up getting it ordered and brought in here for you with all the trim and stuff that you need and all that nature, and we try to be a one-stop shop for whatever you're looking for.
Hours are open?
We're here 7:30 to 6 Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 on Saturday, closed on Sunday.
Social media, how do we find you?
Experts at BigJohnsCloseouts.com. You can send cabinet questions to cabinets at BigJohnsCloseouts.com. You can also email me at Mike at BigJohnsCloseouts.com. And of course, our phone number is 423-542-4755. So you can give us a call, and we'll try to answer your questions or get answers for you and call you back.
We always dedicate our broadcast every day, unashamedly, to the Lord. It's His show. I just got my fingers in His belt loop. So here I'm going to read the verse today. Then I'm going to let him wrap it up with talking a little bit about steel. Why do we worship the Lord? Why do we depend on Him? Why do we bring everything to Him in prayer, asking for His help? Old Testament, Nehemiah 9:6 says, "You alone are the Lord. You made the heavens, even the highest heavens, all the starry hosts, the earth and all that's in it, the seas, all that is in them. You give life to everything, and the multitudes of heaven worship you." That's why we do it. He's omnipotent. He's unlimited power, able to do anything, obviously. He is omniscient. He's all-knowing, and He's omnipresent. He's everywhere at the same time. These are the reasons we lean on Him, depend on Him, and live for Him, for He is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and He willingly died for us, for you and me. He's worthy to be praised and worshiped, the name above all names, the name of Jesus. That's why we worship Him, and that's why I get out of bed every morning and try to do I fall short? Oh, absolutely. Oh, Yes.
We all do.
Absolutely, I do. But my goal is to try and bring glory to him, what we do, what we say, and so this man does too. And when you come in here, you'll hear music, Christian music played, and that's not just the only reason he doesn't talk it, he lives it. He's a good guy, and so we love promoting him. And his wife is top shelf. Got a chance to meet her Sunday at the church house. She is cool. We like Mrs. Barnett. So anyway, having said all that, we are big fans of Big John's Closeouts. Right over there is a whole wall of orange American-made tools, chainsaws, leaf blowers. You sell a ton of them. Tell us about steel.
Well, we've got a wide variety of about anything you might want with steel. We're starting to talk about, as we get closer to fall and stuff of that nature, people will be wanting to do, some wood cutting and stuff if they burn wood to help, with their electric bills and stuff of that nature. We've had a lot of storms and stuff around us and some strong winds and stuff. There's a lot of cleanup and stuff that needs to be done. We've got a number of gas-powered saws that can do very large jobs. If you've got big trees you need to remove or get down as far as that nature. Plus, we've got a good supply of battery equipment, not just the string trimmers and stuff, but we've got some of the battery-powered chainsaws here, hedge trimmers, stuff of that nature. One of the nice things about having a battery-powered hedge trimmer, you don't have to worry about cutting your cord, or you don't have to get out there and fire up a bunch of gas and have the fumes all over you and stuff of that nature and wake up the neighbors and half the community, trimming your hedges or maybe some of your bushes down at the road and stuff of that nature. So, we've got those leaf blowers, we've got backpack blowers, we've got handheld blowers as far as that goes. We've got curve shaft gas-powered trimmers. We've got straight shaft trimmers, plus some of the larger trimmers that you can put brush cutting heads on and stuff of that nature with different tri-arc blades, or blades with a number of teeth in it if you've got some small saplings and stuff in your your growth that you need to get cut down and stuff of that nature. And we're a full service dealer. We have the oil and the replacement lines and the bars and the chains for your chainsaws. We do our maintenance and stuff of that nature. You can bring in your equipment that needs to be worked on and stuff. We've got an in-house mechanic and stuff of that nature, and you can bring it, drop it off. He'll get to it and look at it, order parts if it needed. We may have the parts in stock because we stock a wide variety of parts. If you know what parts you need, such as a air filter, fuel filter, something of that nature, we very well may have that in stock. Just be sure and get your model number, because that's easier for us to look up, and stuff of that nature, and we can get you the parts you need, spark plugs, whatever.
Big John's Closeout, folks, here in Elizabeth. And be loyal, buy local, buy it in Betsy, buy it from Big John's.
Hey, appreciate you, Tom.
See you next month, sir.
All righty. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, we love coming down here. Love it. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. We'll wrap it up right after this from, let's see, who we've not had. Double C Western Supply on the Tom Dolan Sports Show.
And again, with Double C Western Supply, a lot of Western stores out there. What do you feel like separates Double C from all the other competition?
I feel like there's a lot of things that separate us. Our customer service, I feel like we help our customers very well. I feel like we're very friendly, and at least we try to be. We strive to be a friendly, family-based business. I also feel like our prices are very good. I feel like we try to keep our prices and our merchandise to a point that the whole family can shop here. And I mean, some things do have to be a little more expensive just because of the nature, but I feel like we try to keep our prices down low enough. And we're always just striving to get the next newest merchandise, the best merchandise that we can for them, and we just try our best to do the best we can all the time. So I feel like, mainly that our customer service and our prices kind of differentiate us.
There you go.
Yeah.
Double C Western Supply on Railroad Street in Elizabeth. And again, social media, they're there, and also the website, doublecwestern.com. So, proud sponsor of the show, Tom Taylor Sports Show and Cyclone Sports. Miss Diane and the great folks at Double C Western Supply in Elizabeth. And be loyal, buy local, buy it in Betsy. Amazon doesn't sponsor your ball teams, but Double C Western Supply does.
And back with the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Before we get out of here, we got a brand new softball coach at Milligan University. I want to tell you about that. Cassie Fortner is there. We were going to get to the press conference, but they had it while we were on the air, so, and I understand that. So it is, let's see, Fortner began her coaching career at St. Andrews University. Let's see, joined the coaching staff at Wayland Baptist as an assistant coach and pitching coach. Let's see, fourth place finish last year in the conference tournament with her team. Third place finish fourth 2 years ago. Third place finish last year. So, coming from Wayland Baptist by way of St. Andrews, and now the head softball coach with obviously a Christian, which is what we look for at Milligan. Cassie Fortner, the new softball coach at Milligan University, coming from Wayland Baptist in, I think it's in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. So, new softball coach for the Lady Buffaloes. We'll try to have her on the next couple of, I'm sure she's going to be moving in here and having to move from Texas to get set up and all that. So once she gets settled in, we'll have her on the show. Big thanks to the guys that were on the show today. Of course, Axel Steins, Mike Barnett, excuse me, the owner of Big John's Closeouts. Also, we had today Jason Jarrett, head football coach of the Happy Valley Warriors. We had Brock Pittman, head football coach at T.A. Duggar. And we had Jeff Birchfield from Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News sports writer. And all those folks can go back and watch it at your convenience. We'll rejoin you tomorrow. Food City Friday will be at Food City in Gray. Jason Johnson named the store manager of the year, and we'll be at his place tomorrow having a big time. We'll be at Food City in Gray. We'll probably have a cameo by Axel Stein Shines tomorrow. We'll have him come by again tomorrow. And he's already got it figured out Monday. It's a food place, and Monday we'll be at Pizza Inn. We will, eating pizza, having a big time on Monday at Pizza Inn in Elizabeth. And so, out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. Thanks for watching the show number 2318. Joining you tomorrow for 2319. 2,319 show tomorrow will be at Food City in Gray. Until then, we'll say, as always, bloom where you're planted, and win or lose, big is sport. Thanks for watching the show from Big John's Closeouts, where they hammer high prices here in Elizabeth. And see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show.